Welcome back to another review, and today I will be reviewing a video game for the first time. There are probably other times I could have done that this year, but I thought better late than never. As you saw by the title of the video, I'm reviewing a game called The Quarry, the newest game from the Supermassive Games that also made Until Dawn, and honestly, I think that this is a great follow-up and doesn't do too much that Until Dawn does, and I think both games are equally enjoyable and that there isn't one that is better than another. I will say, though, that the Quarry does a better job at making you like characters and root for them. More specifically, Ted Raimi, who plays Travis Hackett, and David Arquette, I think it is. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but I'm just going to be referring to him as Dewey. The whole story of this game is that summer is over and kids are going home for the summer, and the teen counselors that are our main characters are stranded in the town because the car won't start due to one person of the group, which I will explain later. But anyways, they are all stuck there, the 9 of them, which 2 of them are stuck in jail thanks to Travis, who I will now be referring to as Ted Raimi because I like that better than just calling him Travis. Ted Raimi locks these 2 teenagers in a cell because they went to Hackett's Quarry, where the whole game is focused on, and went into the cellar where one of them, named Max, was attacked by a creature, and Ted Raimi drugs them and takes them to the station where he's the only cop, apparently, that we were ever introduced to, even though the cops show up at the end of the game. I don't even know. Our other character is named Laura, who has a relationship with Max. She is also put into jail, and we find out that they spend a total of 2 months in there, which is pretty much from the start of the summer to the end of the summer. Our other characters are Abigail, who's probably the weaker characters, along with Nick and Emma, and I would even argue Caitlin was kind of mad because I never felt a good connection with her, and honestly probably wouldn't affect me if she died, but the only reason that Nick is on the list is because he turns into a werewolf pretty early on, and we don't get another version of his character until we see at the end of the game whether he is alive or not. I will say that Chapter 2 and 3 are the worst of the 10, and I know it's to introduce the characters and their history, but it was way too long in my opinion compared to Until Dawn, which is faster with its story and more to the point, which I like better. Other teen characters are Ryan, played by Justice Smith, who I thought would be very boring in the game, but with more time became more likable, and depending on the ending, can be pretty heroic, and I believe he is heroic by heart, not by choice of the player of the game. Dylan is that character that probably everyone likes and wants to have alive because he brings a pretty positive atmosphere and is never untrustworthy through the game, even with all the different choices. A lot of characters can be described differently, so I'm just describing them as they were presented in the beginning. Jacob is another character I liked and wished had to do more with the game than just being half naked in the forest the whole time. But anyways, I'm probably in the minority of people that like his character, which I guess is because they think he's a douche, but I honestly blame it on the developers for not developing enough of his character. It kind of feels like some characters like Emma and Jacob are just barely touched on when stuff starts to go down, and it kind of feels like, for example, when Max has a choice to jump off the island or not, and he does nothing else after that, and it feels like the developers didn't know what to do with the characters, and we're kind of like, it doesn't matter that much if they live or die. Anyways, Dewey's character is named Chris Hackett, and he is spoiler alert, a werewolf. Him and his kids are werewolves because one of his kids was bitten by what was called the white werewolf, which isn't white at all, but whatever. And pretty much the Hackett family is searching for this white wolf to put an end to the curse that they brought upon themselves when Dewey's kids released the white wolf from its cage years ago when he was called the Wolf Boy as an attraction type thing. Oh yeah, his name is also Silas, by the way, forgot to mention that. But the Hag of Hackett's Quarry is a ghost that supposedly haunts the quarry and is still looking for Silas. And we, the player, find out that the weird mysterious lady is the hag, which I literally guessed in like the first 3 chapters, which is another thing I thought was kind of weak. Another thing I didn't like is how they did Nick, where we saw a little bit of his character and not much after their transformation. We saw nothing else of their character after they were a werewolf. Also, the Hackett family is mad boring, and the only character you really care about in the end is Travis. The game ends when dawn happens in the morning, whenever there's a full moon out, which activates the werewolves. which is weird because After Dawn should have really been the name for this game instead of The Quarry, but that doesn't really matter to me that much. So the end is either Silas is killed and the curse stops, or he isn't and the curse continues. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I would honestly rate this a 9 out of 10 because I feel that Until Dawn is the same rating and might come close to Game of the Year, but with Elden Ring, I highly doubt that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.